Hello and welcome to Scarlet International, a fictional airport located in the Midlands of England. You join me on a crisp winter's morning in early February during the pre-noon rush. Firstly, I'd like to talk about a couple of changes since the last update. Most notably, a new cargo stand has been added to the remote stands on the south side of the airport. The construction of said gate has only boosted the rumours circulating that a new cargo airline is potentially looking into starting operations from WSI. However, as no formal announcement has yet been made from either the airport or the airline, we can only speculate as to the identity of this airline, and of course it's unsure whether this is going to happen. In other news, the Apron Management Team, or AMT for short, has presented WSI management with a proposal for a new ground equipment storage area at the airport. Now, although there are a number of locations in which this could be built, the most obvious one I think would be the now blocked off West Taxiway, as you can see here. However, airport management have not yet publicly approved construction to begin, so it's unsure whether such an idea will ever actually come to reality. But for now, let's get on with the update. So then, we have a great deal to talk about in today's update, so let's get right into it. Starting off at the first of two British Airways allocated gates. This is a British Airways 727-200, which is currently unloading passengers and cargo from an early morning flight in from Funchal in Madeira. At the moment, all is going smoothly, so it will most likely be leaving on time for its next flight, which will be bound for Lisbon. Just pushing back next to him is this British Airways A320neo, which is departing for a short hop down to London Heathrow, and then I believe from there it's going to be heading up to Edinburgh and then back to Heathrow before returning to Scarlet International later this evening. Currently boarding passengers is this Icelandair Boeing 757-200, which arrived at about 10 o'clock last night from Reykjavik, where the aircraft is scheduled to return in around 10 minutes' time. Currently, the ground crew are trying to minimise the delay, as the aircraft will most probably miss its departure slot due to faulty ground equipment causing a delay. And now on to the main subject for today. Now, this is a KLM Fokker 70 which has been bought out of retirement by the Dutch national carrier to serve Scarlet International from KLM's home base at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. On board today's inaugural flight are senior officials of KLM, as well as 2 sets of pilots and 6 cabin crew, who will all be living and working at Scarlet International in the months to come. The legendary Fokker, currently receiving a water salute, will certainly become a popular sight around the airport, as KLM have announced they will be operating the trip once daily for the time being. However, they may wish to increase the frequency of services should the demand arise in the future. This aircraft will depart WSI for the first time at around 2:45 this afternoon and head back to Amsterdam. Also bound for the European continent is this 757-200 BCF of DHL. This is in the special Grand Tour Air Force One livery, and it can be seen starting up, and once it's been given clearance to taxi, it's going to be heading out to Leipzig. Not set to depart for a good while yet is this West Atlantic 737-800 BCF, which is currently making use of the new cargo stand that's been built here. It arrived in at close to midnight last night from Malta Lucca Airport, and it's going to be departing, taking supplies down to Liège at about 10:15 this evening, so quite a way before this aircraft is ready to leave. Finally, for today's update then, we come to the far corner of the airfield, where these 2 Flybe aircraft are sitting empty and cold and are sort of awaiting their fate, really. Following Flybe's fall to administration, a group of private investors have met with Flybe's administrators with the intention of breathing some new life into the ever-turbulent regional carrier. It is possible that should they be successful, Scarlet International Airport could be chosen as a hub for the airline, as its geographical position sort of lends itself to sort of being in the middle of the UK. For now though, such a deal has not been announced, and these Flybe aircraft will therefore remain stored at Scarlet International for the time being, and we'll just have to see how the situation evolves and whether any such deals are ever reached. So then everybody, that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a different style of update today. I thought I'd try and be a little bit more formal and just give it a little bit of a change. But that does mean that I couldn't really incorporate some of the other things that I've done for Scarlet into the sort of main formal bit of the update. So you may notice that the foliage looks a little bit different from my static grass video, and that's because I've just added sort of a rim of foliage all the way along the back, And I think that it sort of closes the scene off more nicely. It didn't quite look finished before, but I think it does look sort of considerably improved now. I've also attempted to paint over some of the plaster marks which could be seen in the last video. They didn't look very good. There were sort of white splotches everywhere from where I'd used the plaster of Paris, and there were still a couple little bits of plaster down there, but I have made an effort to paint over it mostly. And another thing I've done is I've also modified this area over here. I don't know if that was in the last update or not, but I don't think it was actually. So yeah, I've painted the taxiway junction here. Because I didn't really feel like it was necessary anymore, because obviously we've now only just got grass there and it's not really leading to anywhere, so it didn't make much sense to have that there. But there we go, that is today's update. I do hope you enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying doing Will Scarlet at the moment. There is going to be sort of quite a lot of progression to come. I've got a couple of new models coming. Obviously I've had the KLM in today's video, as well as the 2 Flybe models, which I'm sure that these Flybe models will be getting more use in the future. I'm not going to say too much about that, but I do very much have plans for them. And I think my next big project is going to be sorting out this area over here. I am going to be getting back into 3D printing in the coming months, and I think really it's time that Will Scarlet Terminal had a little bit of an upgrade. It's been like this since day one, and to be honest, it's just not really cutting it anymore. So I'm probably going to have sort of like an L-shaped terminal, and then sort of have sort of like a park and ride sort of area over here, and it should really finish this airport off. Obviously a model airport's never really finished, but I feel like it could look an awful lot more complete than it does. Obviously, because when you walk into this room, one of the first things you notice is this barren, horrible space with all of my Uniposca pen marks from when I've been doing various markings on the actual airport bit. So yeah, that's it for now. I don't really have anything else to say. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to set up any collaboration routes, or you do have any suggestions, then please do leave them down in the comments down below. But that's going to be it for now. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texas, you wanna try, baby. I know you can't.